Welcome back, Clasher. So as of yesterday morning, the Builder Base 2.0 update dropped. And today I've actually had a chance to give it a try. And we did play it on stream for a little bit. We'll play some clips here during this video as well. But I wanted to go over my thoughts on the update and what I hope to see from this going forward. So first of all, I do think this update's doing a nice job of addressing the problems that were there with the original concept of Builder Base. So problems that we had in the Builder Base, the first version were extremely slow progression, not very engaging, and waiting for opponents to complete their attacks. I think that was probably the biggest problem that was still left, especially the people dropping their sneaky archers and using every bit of time off the clock, and you have to sit there and wait every single time. That drove a lot of people away. But we've gotten rid of that with a multiplayer style attacking system. We can't say that it's not engaging anymore. It's incredibly engaging. Sometimes a little too much because there's just so much going on, but I think it's way better that way. And progression, I think it might be a little too early to say, but it should be better because now we have 2 builders in Builder Base rather than having to choose between 2 builders there or 6 on the home village, because everybody's going to choose 6 for the home village every time. That was a no-brainer there. But now we get to have both, so we'll get to see how progression is going to be going forward with the Builder Base. I think time will tell on that one. So I got a pros and list con from about 2 hours roughly of playing the Builder Base and trying to do some attacks. We'll get to why I say trying to do attacks here in a little bit. But first, let's go over the pros. We'll go over the positives first. I thought it's a lot more challenging. It's actually really challenging. You got to go through the first section, then you got to move through the second section with whatever's left. I didn't have my healing tower or whatever it was early on, so a lot of this I was going in with like 1 HP troops into the second part to try to get the 6 stars. Now that I have the healing thing, I imagine it's going to be at least a little bit easier. Get your troops healed up going into the second part of the attack. So more challenging, definitely a pro. The troop abilities are a huge pro. It makes it a lot more engaging. You can actually sit there and engage with your attack after all the troops are down. I think that is actually a really cool thing that they've added. The 2-layer concept itself, I think, is really cool. You got to go through the first part, but you also have to try to conserve as much as you can. It's like those challenges where you're just trying to swag as much as you can in the first part so that you still have power left over for the second part. I think it's a really cool idea. The other thing I already kind of touched on is having the 2 builders always there. That should help progression at least a little bit. If nothing else, you can have 2 builders constantly building things. Now, do I think this is enough? I think they could add more builders like Home Village has. I think there's plenty of upgrade time that we would be fine with 3 or 4 builders in the Builder Base to try and help speed things up even more. But Supercell knows what they want progression to be, so we'll see if they decide at any point that we could use more builders. But at least we have 2 now, so that's better than 1. Now the final pro I'm going to add to this is going to be the new troop. I'm actually going to touch on this more in its own video, but for now I'll say it's a really cool concept. It doesn't really have an ability, but you get to swap between the 2 modes. You got the Inferno Wizard or Electro Wizard. I think it's a really neat concept. I did get to play with that just a little bit here. I don't think I got any clips of that because I played with it after stream. But yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. And like I said, we're going to do a video just for that probably here really soon. Now those are the pros. Let's go over the cons, and some of the cons here are really just the way that the update launched. It was really buggy. That's the #1 con, the main complaint that I have. It was hard getting into attacks, especially towards the end of stream. We kept getting into clouds trying to reset it, and it was just really hard finding attacks. Now the next con I'm going to add, I don't know if it was all because of the bugs or if this is just how the loot system is, but I did several attacks. I'm not sure how many exactly, but definitely more attacks than I got defenses. I think I did maybe 20 attacks or so, but I only got 5 defenses total, and they never really came in. So I'm struggling to get elixir because I'm just not getting defenses off of the attacks that I'm doing, and defense is the only way to get elixir from actively playing. So that's really unfortunate, especially when the first upgrades of the new Builder Base are all elixir based. So that was one thing that's really unfortunate. I don't think that's intentional. I think you're supposed to get a defense for every attack that you do, but that's not the way it was working out. And even when it is working, I'm not 100% sure how good of a loot system this is actually going to be. I kind of think maybe they should have done something more along the lines of how Legend League loot works, but we'll see how that changes, if that changes in the future. Hopefully once the bugs are fixed, it's at least better than what it was today. So one of the cons here, I feel like some of the troops feel weaker than what they should be. It's a little unfortunate to have some of the numbers cut down. I think all the troops except for the barbarians, archers, and minions get multiple troops for each one that you pick. Unlike before where you'd get like 4 baby dragons. Now, you get 1 baby dragon that's fairly strong, but if you wanted to funnel on 2 sides of the base of the baby dragons, you got to take up 2 slots for the baby dragons. And altogether, I don't think you're getting as much value out of one of these baby dragons, one of the new ones, as you did 4 of the other ones. So I'm not really sure if the balancing is quite there. We'll see. Like I said, this will be another thing. We'll see if Supercell comes in and does any adjusting with balance changes. But some things just really feel like they're not quite hitting where they need to be. That also could be the fact that I don't quite have everything maxed out yet. Of course, I was Builder Hall 9, so that's where we played today. And I think troops go all the way up to level 20, so maybe once we get troops maxed out, they'll start to feel better. But we're also going to be hitting higher defenses once we get to that point, so I'd imagine it's going to be about the same. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. In any case, I do feel like some of these troops could definitely use at least a little bit of a buff, especially when you only get 1 troop per slot and you're trying to hang on to those troops through the first attack into the second. And the last con here on the list is actually going to be the new battle machine. So that new helicopter that they brought in, I think it's a neat concept. They wanted to bring in a air-only hero for this builder base, and really the only issue I have with it is its ability. So once you hit the ability, which can recharge like the other hero, it kind of zooms into the base, which to me is kind of an issue because when it zooms in, it's zooming into more defenses. And when more defenses hit it, it takes more damage and it goes down faster. So I would say that this hero, this new machine, whatever you want to call it, it could definitely do without the zooming effect. The effect is called a dive bomb, so it dives into the base to drop the big bomb. If it were to drop that bomb from the distance it's already at, it would be tremendously better instead of diving into all the defenses to take extra damage and go down faster. Good luck trying to get 2 of these abilities off in 1 attack. I mean, I just don't see it happening. But this is also another one of those things where I don't really have it upgraded. Maybe the fact that it's level 15 has something to do with that. So I'm going to have to upgrade this and reevaluate it again later once I've got it maxed out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going to be the summary of my thoughts so far on the update after my first day of playing it. Once some of the bugs are ironed out and the loot system's working as it's supposed to, then I'll kind of see how things are going. I'm also interested to see if I'm still enjoying it, because right now, I will say I am enjoying the builder base. It is fun, it's interesting, and this is something I could see myself doing on a regular basis. But we'll give it a couple weeks and we'll see how I feel about it then, because when the original builder base dropped, I did have fun with that as well for about a week or 2 before it really started to fall off for me. So we'll see where I'm at in a couple of weeks. If I'm still enjoying it by then that's a good sign that they've really done something good here. And I don't know, I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be a good thing, and I'm definitely looking forward to what else Supercell has in store for the builder base. But let me know what you guys are thinking about the builder base down in the comments below. I know today was riddled with bugs, and that's unfortunate, but aside from that, how are you liking the builder base update? Is it something you can see yourself playing, or are you still just going to stick to using it for clan games or stuff like that? Let me know what you think. But that is going to be a wrap for this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to check out my previous video as well. And also be sure to hit thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss my next Clash of Clans video. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next time.